Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're diving deep into Book II of the Odyssey, based on, well, the ancient text itself.
hmm
Your mission as the learner is to quickly grasp the crucial developments and understand their significance in Odysseus's long journey home.
And book two is pivotal for that. It really sets the scene back in Ithaca.
Yeah, we'll unpack the situation there as his son Telemachus really steps up.
Absolutely. What's fascinating right off the bat is the stark contrast.
Mm,
Odysseus is out there facing monsters and gods.
right, epic struggles.
While back home, it's a different kind of chaos unfolding. It's all about these entitled suitors.
Okay, let's get into it then. The state of affairs in Ithaca. I mean, the sheer nerve of these guys.
Oh, it's incredible.
From the beginning of Book Two, they have essentially moved into Odysseus' place.
Yeah. They're not guests, they're occupiers.
Exactly. It's not like they're visiting. They're living there, acting like they own the joint, and just going through all the food and wine like there's no tomorrow.
Constantly feasting. And it's all fueled by this assumption, this belief that Odysseus is gone for good, dead,
So they're all competing to marry Penelope.
and take over his kingdom,
Ah.
essentially. We even hear about the ringleaders, like Antinous and Eurymachus.
Those two seem particularly bad.
Oh, yeah. They're described as especially bold and, frankly, disrespectful,
Yeah.
arrogant.
Right. It's not just about, romance or marriage. It's basically a hostile takeover in slow motion.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Think about the sheer amount they must be eating and drinking every single day.
It's a massive financial drain on Telemachus and the whole household.
Mhm.
They're just eating away his inheritance.
Yeah, consuming food, wine, livestock. It's unsustainable.
And this really builds the tension, doesn't it? It directly explains Telemachus's growing frustration.
Definitely. Because in Book Two, we see him start to shift. He goes from feeling maybe helpless
Yeah, kind of overwhelmed by it all.
to finding some inner strength, some resolve.
Exactly. We see him make his move. He speaks to the suitors.
Right. He initially tries to be somewhat polite, doesn't he? Asking them to maybe, chill with the endless feasting.
A reasonable request.
But then he gets tougher. He announces he's calling an assembly of the Ithacans.
To formally order them to leave?
That's a big step for a young guy facing down, over 100 powerful men.
It is. And what's interesting is the kind of veiled threat he makes, too.
Oh, yeah.
He mentions the potential wrath of Zeus if they keep plundering his house.
Invoking the gods.
It's a sign he's starting to assert himself, using whatever leverage he can find, even if it's just, a warning for now.
And it's not like everyone in Ithaca is siding with the freeloaders, right? There's that moment with Egyptius.
Right, in the assembly. That's important.
He speaks up, this old lord, and supports Telemachus. Yeah. Acknowledges how much he's suffering with his father gone.
It's a little crack in the Suitors United front. Shows they don't have universal support.
That public acknowledgement must be key for Telemachus.
Well, absolutely. It gives him some validation, probably emboldens him to address the assembly directly, which he does.
And he makes it clear this isn't just about the household supplies being low.
No, he frames it as his own personal trouble, the loss of his father, and the outrageous actions of the suitors.
It becomes less about the stuff, the resources, and more about his honor, his father's memory.
Exactly. The disrespect is the core issue.
Now, while Telemachus is trying to deal with this head-on, his mother, Penelope, has been playing her own long game.
Oh, Penelope's strategy is brilliant.
The shroud for Laertes.
Yeah.
Just pure genius to delay them.
It really shows her intelligence and her resourcefulness under immense pressure. The idea of weaving this burial shroud for Odysseus's father, Laertes.
Right, saying she can't even think about remarriage until it's finished.
It buys her invaluable time.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating here is how she uses a traditionally feminine task, weaving,
Yeah.
as a form of resistance. Political maneuvering, really.
And the dedication, weaving all day.
And then secretly unraveling it all at night.
For 3 years. That's incredible loyalty, isn't it? And just a really clever way to manipulate them without them knowing.
It speaks volumes about her commitment to Odysseus. Her refusal to be forced into a marriage she doesn't want.
But you know how it goes. Secrets like that.
They rarely stay hidden forever, especially in a palace full of people.
Exactly. Eventually, one of her maids, one of her own women,
Betrays her. Spills the beans to the suitors.
you'd think this would completely backfire on Penelope.
And in some ways it does. It forces her hand. But it also just highlights the suitors' impatience and their massive sense of entitlement. They feel they're the injured party.
They feel like they're being unfairly delayed from, taking over everything.
Which brings us neatly to Antinous' reaction in the assembly. He's the ringleader, remember?
Oh, yeah. He doesn't even try to be subtle anymore, does he?
Not at all. He stands up and flat out accuses Penelope of deceiving them, leading them on with his whole weaving scheme.
And his proposed solution is just unbelievable.
It really is. He demands Telemachus send his own mother back to her father, Icarius.
So he can arrange a new marriage.
And crucially, so Icarius can receive the bridal gifts, the dowry. It's all about their personal gain.
Completely disregarding Penelope's feelings, Telemachus's rights, everything.
Precisely. And he doubles down. He says the suitors will just keep hanging around, keep eating everything.
Until Penelope makes up her mind.
Yeah. They're essentially holding her hostage in her own home and openly saying they don't fear Telemachus, they don't respect his authority.
What's striking is their complete lack of respect for the social order, for Xenia, for hospitality.
It gets worse. Antinous even says they'll continue to eat Telemachus' resources without paying any kind of penalty.
Just brazen. A total disregard for basic hospitality, any sense of justice.
And to top it all off, remember Halitherses, the old seer who reads an omen.
Yeah, the eagles. He warns them Odysseus might be coming back.
Antinous threatens him. Basically tells him to shut up or face a penalty.
Wow. So silencing anyone who offers hope or challenges their version of reality.
Exactly. It really shows how far they're willing to go to maintain their control. Ruthless.
So things in Ithaca are looking pretty grim. The pressure is immense.
Very grim. Telemachus seems cornered.
But then we get a really important moment. Athena steps in.
Yes. Divine intervention. A common thread in these epic stories, isn't it?
It often provides that necessary push for change. How does she appear this time?
She appears disguised as Mentor, an old family friend, Odysseus' friend.
Okay, so a familiar, trusted figure.
Right. And her encouragement and practical advice are exactly what Telemachus needs at this low point.
He's facing a seemingly impossible situation.
And she offers a concrete path forward, not just be brave, but actual steps.
What does she suggest?
She gives him a plan. Go seek news of his father, first from Nestor in Pylos,
Huh.
and then from Menelaus in Sparta. Find out if Odysseus is alive or dead.
That's a huge undertaking for someone who's, well, basically a homebody up till now, never really traveled.
It is. But it's a crucial step. He needs information.
And she doesn't just give him the idea, right? She helps him act on it.
Yes, she actively tells him to find a ship and a crew, provides that initial spark of action. It moves him from just talking or despairing about the problem.
Yeah, actually doing something concrete about it.
Exactly, taking charge.
Now, what's interesting is how Telemachus keeps his preparations for this journey secret.
He doesn't announce it to the whole palace, especially not the suitors.
No, he specifically asks his old nurse, Euryclea, someone he trusts implicitly.
To get provisions ready, wine and barley for the trip.
His trust in Euryclea really speaks volumes about their relationship, doesn't it?
It does. And making her swear an oath not to tell Penelope until he's been gone for like 10 or 12 days.
That shows his thoughtfulness, too. He knows his mother would be worried sick.
Yeah, he tries to spare her that anxiety for as long as possible. Very considerate, actually.
Euryclea's initial reaction is totally understandable, though. She's upset, terrified for him.
Of course. She pleads with him not to go.
But her loyalty to Telemachus and to Odysseus' memory ultimately wins out. She agrees to keep his secret.
It highlights these strong, loyal bonds within Odysseus' household that the suitors haven't managed to completely break. There's still a core of loyalty there.
And so, with Athena's help, she even looks like Mentor helping him gather the crew and the ship.
Right. He manages to get a crew together and prepare a swift ship. This is a major turning point for him.
He's no longer just reacting to the suitors. He's taking initiative, taking control of his own destiny in a way.
Definitely. He's off on his own mini Odyssey.
But of course, in a house full of nosy, entitled suitors.
Secrets don't speak secret for long.
Right. They eventually realize Telemachus has actually done it. He's set sail.
And the reaction is exactly what you'd expect.
Shock. Anger.
Both. Primarily anger, I think. How dare he defy them?
Their arrogance, though, it seems to make them underestimate him still.
Yeah, they wonder where he's gone. Pylos or Sparta are the obvious guesses.
And they worry he might come back with allies, maybe? Or even poison.
There's some fear there, yeah. But they still don't seem to grasp the seriousness of his departure or his growing determination. They dismiss him.
And in their cluelessness, what do?
They just keep on feasting and making fun of him behind his back.
Completely missing the significance of what he's actually achieved. It's like they can't imagine their free ride ever ending.
which leads directly to Antinous hatching that nasty plan.
Ah, the ambush.
Yeah, to lie in wait in the straits and kill Telemachus when he sails back.
Wow. It reveals just how ruthless they really are, how determined they are to eliminate any threat to their position.
Even if it means resorting to murder. It's a dark turn, and really raises the stakes considerably for Telemachus's return.
So you see, even before Odysseus himself makes his grand reentry, Book 2 is absolutely packed with crucial
It
developments.
really is. The stage is well and truly set.
We've got this rising tension in Ithaca. We see Telemachus finally taking action, growing up fast.
The suitors becoming even more audacious, more dangerous.
Penelope showing incredible cleverness and resilience under impossible pressure.
And Athena's guiding hand, nudging events forward. It's a really precarious situation, isn't it? Just loaded with potential for major drama and conflict.
Absolutely. What strikes you most about Telemachus's first real moves here, his journey?
I think it's just that decision to act, to stop enduring and start doing. It's the beginning of his own heroic arc.
Yeah, true. And what do you think he'll find when he reaches Nestor and Menelaus? Will he get the answers he's looking for?
Well, that's what we'll need to explore next, isn't it? But this deep dive into Book 2 definitely gives us a vital understanding of just how complex and dangerous the situation is that Odysseus will eventually have to contend with when he finally makes it home.
A critical foundation for everything that follows.
Precisely.
See you on the next episode of this podcast.